Hey there. So you're a founder, which means your patent is probably one of the most valuable things you own. But let's be real for a second. Dealing with US PTO maintenance fees, it feels like one of those chores that is just so easy to kick down the road. Well, today we're going to demystify this whole thing. We're going to turn it from something you dread into a simple, routine task.
Yeah, this probably sounds familiar, right? You're out there building your company, you're hiring people, you're solving actual problems. The absolute last thing you want to do is get stuck in some bureaucratic maze. But don't you worry, we're going to break this down piece by piece, and by the end of this, you'll have a super clear step-by-step guide to follow.
So to really get a handle on why these fees are so important, let's think about it with a simple metaphor. Imagine your patent is like a big protective fence you've built all the way around your invention. And this, right here, really says it all. There's no in-between. When you pay your fees, that fence stays strong, keeping your IP totally secure. But the moment you miss a payment, that fence doesn't just get a little wobbly, it completely vanishes. Your invention is now just open ground, and poof, your exclusive rights are gone.
And it goes beyond just the legal status. A lapsed patent sends a really loud and, frankly, a pretty negative signal to the very people you need to impress to grow your company.
So you've got to ask yourself, who's even watching? Well, turns out it's pretty much everyone that matters. For investors, it's a massive red flag. It's not about the one payment. It suggests you're not on top of the details. They start wondering, what other important stuff are they dropping the ball on? Potential partners might start questioning how reliable you are. And if you're ever thinking about getting acquired, you can bet they will use a lapsed patent to argue for a lower price. This is way more than just paperwork. It's a direct reflection of how you manage your business.
Okay, so we've covered the why. Now let's dig into the practical how. Before you even think about opening the US PTO website, doing a tiny bit of prep work can save you a world of pain later.
These are the 3 little pieces of info you're going to want to have ready to go. And please pay close attention to that first one. So many people get the patent number and the application number mixed up. You need the patent number to pay the fee. The application number is just for your own reference. Getting this right from the jump is half the battle. All right, here's a pro tip that's going to make your life way easier. You can just look up your patent publicly, but trust me, creating a registered account is a total game changer. It gives you a much better view of everything. You can see the full window for when you can pay your fees, get more payment options, and even set up a workspace to track all your patents. It's like 5 minutes of setup that pays you back every single time.
Okay, you're ready to go, you're logged in. Time for the main event, actually paying this thing. Let's walk through the exact steps you're going to take inside the Patent Center portal.
When you boil it all down, it's really just these 4 steps. Find the right tab, double-check the details, pop in your payment info, and, this is super important, save that receipt. See? When you break it down like that, it's a whole lot less intimidating.
Now here's a term that trips people up all the time, the fee window. It sounds complicated, but it's not. It's just the specific period of time when the US PTO will actually let you pay. You can't just pay a year early. The system tells you exactly when the window opens, so there's no guesswork involved.
Now, before you actually click that pay button, I need you to pause and do one critical check. The fee amount might not be what you think it is. It depends on your company size, whether you're a micro, small, or large entity, and those amounts are very different. Plus, if you're paying a little late within that 6-month grace period, a surcharge gets tacked on automatically. So always confirm the total on the screen to make sure everything goes through smoothly.
And that double check is absolutely mandatory because of this right here. The USPTO does not care that you meant to pay. They only care about successful submissions. A tiny typo in your credit card number or a payment that doesn't go through, that's not a near miss. In their eyes, it's a missed payment, period. The system is brutal. You have to be accurate.
So you've submitted the payment. Awesome, high five. But wait, you're not quite done. What you do in the next 5 minutes is actually super important for keeping your records straight and setting yourself up for success down the road.
That confirmation receipt, that is your golden ticket. It's your official proof that you paid. Do not just leave it sitting in your email inbox or your downloads folder to get lost forever. Save it right away to a central, shared place, like a dedicated folder on your company's shared drive, where all your other important IP documents are. This is all about creating a clean paper trail.
So here's your immediate game plan. First, pop back into Patent Center later to make sure the status updated. It's not always instant, but it's good to check. Second, log the payment date and that confirmation number in your own internal spreadsheet or system. And third, while it's fresh in your mind, go into your calendar and block out the next fee window right now. Seriously, your future self is going to thank you for this one.
Okay, let's zoom out a bit. The whole point here isn't just to survive this one payment. It's to change this from a stressful, one-off thing into a simple, predictable business habit.
When you look at this timeline, you can really see that this is a long-term commitment. The fees pop up at the 3.5, 7.5, and 11.5-year marks after your patent is granted. It's a totally predictable cycle that you can and absolutely should plan for.
At the end of the day, you've got two choices. On the left, you've got the path of chaos. Last-minute panic, nobody knows who's responsible, and it's always an emergency. On the right, you have the systemic approach, a calm, annual checkup with clear ownership. Your goal is to build the simple systems that make sure you are always living on the right side of this chart.
And finally, let's think a little bigger. Don't just look at this as another bill you have to pay. Use each of these maintenance fee periods as a strategic checkpoint. It's a perfect time to ask, hey, does this patent still protect the core of our business? Is this still our key technology? Or have we pivoted? This turns a boring administrative task into a really valuable moment of strategic thinking for your company. So, I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. Is the way you manage your intellectual property a calm, predictable routine? Or does it feel like a recurring emergency? The choice is all yours, and now you've got the tools to make it a routine.